Welcome everyone to Europe and Ruins Reinforcements. This tutorial will cover the basics of the launcher and building your company. This tutorial assumes you've completed steps 1 and 2 of our Getting Started tutorials. If you have not, please go back and complete those steps now. Europe and Ruins gameplay, or EiRR as we call it, is vastly different than vanilla Company of Heroes. There is no base building in EiRR. Using our launcher, you build your army prior to going into battle. For example, you can start your battle using a King Tiger or just basic infantry. Your only limitations are resources and population caps. There are some exceptions, but we will get into that in later videos. Let's start with the basic functions of the launcher. Upon clicking your EiRR shortcut, the following screen appears. This is our automatic updater. It searches our database for new patches or updates. If there are updates, an update button will appear. If there are no updates, the launcher button will appear. Clicking the launch button once will take you to our game launcher. Enter the game name and password you used in step 1 of the Getting Started tutorials. Remember, your name must be exactly the same as it appears in the Relic Company of Heroes login screen. Now click Enter. This takes you to the profile page of the launcher. In your case, this screen will be empty. As you create multiple companies, they will be listed here. You can have up to 5 companies. To start a new company, simply click the plus sign on the left side of the page. Type in your game name and press Enter. Now we need to choose a faction and doctrine for your company. Click the plus sign beside the company you just created. Now you choose your desired faction. In this case, I'm going to choose American. Now we will choose our doctrine. In EiRR, we have a choice of 3 tiers in each doctrine. We do not choose the tier at this time, but we can read the descriptions if you want. Simply hover your mouse over top of the icon and you will see a brief description of the different tiers. The descriptions are also listed on the Doctrine tab of the launcher, which we will discuss later in this video. For now, we will just choose a doctrine. Simply click on Airborne, Armor, or Infantry. We are going to select Armor. When you click the icon, Armor becomes highlighted. Click Enter once and it takes us back to our profile page. You can see here that we now have a new armor company. Now let's build a new company. Click the plus sign beside the company you just created. This takes us to the home page of the launcher. Here you will see announcements of recent or upcoming events. Be sure to read the ticker at the bottom of the launcher, as this can often announce important news. There are a number of tabs at the top of the launcher. We will go over each of these tabs in detail as we progress, but first let's just build your company. Click the Company tab once. At the top of the screen are your resources. Every player starts with the same amount of resources. Remember, there is no base building in EiRR, so you must build your entire company now. Below the resources are your available units. Hover your cursor over each unit and you will see its description. It lets you know the resources required as well as some other important information. Pop. Just like Company of Heroes, each unit takes up population cap. In EiRR, you start a battle with 25 population. As you play and capture territory, your population increases and you can bring on more units. In Company, this lets you know how many of that unit you have in your company. Infantry. EiRR has a system in place called pool values. Each type of unit is given a pool value and you are limited to a maximum number of that unit type in your company. The unit types are infantry, armor, vehicles, and support. Reserve. Reserve is an older system that is no longer in use and will be removed soon. Pool value. This is the amount of pool this particular unit takes up from the infantry pool. On the lower left side of the screen are the platoon tabs. These 6 tabs are designed to organize your platoons in an easy to remember location. The first tab is your core, the second is your assault, the third is anti-infantry, the fourth is armor, the fifth is anti-tank, and the sixth is support. How you fill these tabs is completely up to you and your playstyle. The sample build I'm about to show you may or may not be a good build for you and your playstyle. We highly recommend looking over the sample builds provided by one of our community members, Demon. You can find his builds in the Getting Started forum under the subforum EiRR Boot Camp. Let's start with your core. Remember that every battle starts with 25 pop available. It is important to start with as many units as possible. Also remember that your opponent can start with anything ranging from infantry to heavy tanks. You need to be prepared for anything. Each platoon tab is divided into 8 boxes. Each of these boxes is what we refer to as a call-in. When you need units on the field, you will select one of your call-ins. Your call-in must be equal to or smaller in population than the available population in game, or it will not deploy. If the call-in is too big, an error message will appear on your screen in game. To put units in your call-ins, simply select the unit, ensuring the green border appears around it, and drag it into the box. A number appears in the lower right corner of the box indicating the population. Just above this unit in your call-in box are the available upgrades. Selecting the unit, a green border appears. Now click the upgrades you require. In this case, we're going to fully upgrade this rifle squad. Let's add an ATG with AP rounds, an HMG, and an M8 Greyhound. Let's fully upgrade this Greyhound. Here we notice we have a repair ability. Unlike Company of Heroes, engineers do not repair vehicles. You must purchase a repair kit prior to going into battle. In this case, I want my M8, my rifle squad, and my HMG to deploy quickly to the front lines, so I will add an infantry half-track. I want my riflemen and my HMG to deploy inside of that half-track, so I have to add them to it. You will note that there is a number at the bottom of the half-track. By right-clicking the infantry, I now have the same number. Same step for the HMG. These two units are now added to the half-track. If you have more than one half-track in the call-in, simply click the units again until the numbers match the second half-track. Your opening call-in should be as close to 25 pop as you can get it. The remainder of your call-ins should be smaller, ranging from about 8 to 12 population. Each time you select a call-in in-game, it takes additional time for it to deploy on the field. This is referred to as call-in timers. We suggest that you do not make your call-ins too small, or it can result in long delays getting your units to the field. You do not want the call-ins too large, as there may not be enough population available to deploy it. 8 to 12 is a good balanced build. Let's move to your Assault tab. Here we can add some rifle squads and upgrade them as we see fit. You continue this process through all of your tabs, trying tanks, upgrades, making sure you're purchasing your repair kits prior to going into the battle, and so on, until you build the company that you feel is the best for battle. You've just built a new company using your standard starting resources. Very important, you must click the Accept Changes button to save your changes. If you do not, all your changes will be lost. EiRR has a system in place called Prestige Points, or PP. Each time you play a game, you collect PP. These PPs are used to unlock further resources like fuel or manpower, and to unlock doctrine advantages. Let's start with the Doctrines tab. The top half of the Doctrine selections is your Doctrine specialization. These are abilities that customize your company to your playstyle. The Doctrine specialization unlocks become available based on the number of games played. You must also have the PP available to unlock them. Hover your mouse over each Doctrine choice to see its description. You can select all 3 Tier 1, all 3 Tier 2. You have an option of picking 2 Tier 3s or 1 Tier 4. You must unlock the abilities in order from 1 to 4 in each row. The bottom section of the Doctrine tab is your Doctrine unlocks. This is where you unlock your Pershings or King Tigers, etc. You can unlock any unit in any order as long as it's available to you. Tier 3 unlocks are not available until your company has reached level 9. Each unlock on both levels take unlock points. Beside the titles Doctrine Specialization and Doctrine Unlocks is a number indicating the number of unlock points available to you. A Tier 1 takes 1 point, a Tier 2 takes 2 points, and so on. Before you select anything and spend your PP, you will want to see how the Advantage tab works. It also requires PP. Let's move to the Advantages tab. Normally these advantages would not be available to you until you have played some games. For now, we have set it up to start with 200 PP. The Advantages tab allows you to spend PP to purchase additional resources. You can pick a total of 6 resources bonuses, but you can only have 3 of one type, 2 of another, and 1 of the last. For example, if I chose 3 munitions, I can have 2 fuel or 2 manpower, and then 1 fuel and 1 manpower. Each advantage increases the resources by the first amount shown. For example, 2 manpower advantages gives you a total of 800 additional manpower. 3 munitions would give you a total of 450 additional munitions. Careful thought needs to go into how you want your final level 9 company to work. For this tutorial, we're going to plan for a tier 3 Pershing company. Because the Pershing is 545 fuel, we know we are going to need 2 additional fuel resources to purchase it, and some other vehicles. We also know we need more stickies and AP rounds for 57mm, so let's get triple munitions. We also need 1 manpower. You will not be able to get all the required resources until you gain enough PP to purchase them and played enough games to unlock them. For now, let's start off with 1 manpower, 2 munitions, and 1 fuel. Be sure to click the Finalization tab. If you leave the tab without finalizing, the changes will be lost. The check marks will turn to green when the selection is confirmed. Let's pick some doctrines. We have not played enough games to unlock the Pershing. We do not want to spend our PP on any other unlock at this time. Now we want to specialize our company. We're going to work towards a double tier 3 company. We're going to work towards the top tier 3, crew efficiency, and the bottom tier 3, onboard mechanics. Hover your mouse over the abilities to see the descriptions. We must start by unlocking the tier 1 and working up. Click the tier 1 on the 3rd row. This unlocks the tier 2. Now select the tier 2. On the left corner, you will see the PP available and PP cost to unlock these tiers. You have 15 pop left, so let's unlock the tier 1 of the top row. Be sure to select Accept Changes to confirm your selections. Now return to your company tab. We can see here that our new advantages have increased our manpower, munitions, and fuel. Now we can go back in and do some upgrades. You have built your first company and are ready for battle. Be sure to click the Accept Changes or all your changes will be lost. Watch our next Getting Started video to learn how to find and join games. Thanks for joining us.